coverage here of the LPL summer season. I am Reed Rapid Melton, and joining me is Nero, and we'll be your casters for tonight. We want to welcome everybody and mention that this stream is made possible in part by cooperation between Gosu Gamers and Games in Asia, as well as our friends at Twitch. So I do want to thank everybody for coming and tuning in tonight, and welcome you all to the stream. We're going to throw up the standings. You can see them right here. These are the current standings after yesterday's day of play. So it's gonna be really cool, at least for me, to see everybody. Previously we had like a three-way tie for third, but now there's a three-way tie for first, as World Elite, OMG, and Starhorn are all up there at 8 points. And tonight EDG have a chance to join them in those top standings with a 2-0 win of their own.
Yeah, and if you are just looking at the standings, then you can easily judge that it could be a very good possibility for Edward Gaming to jump in there, since the match for today will be Edward Gaming versus World Elite Academy, and they are yet to pick up their first points. Yesterday they had a good chance, but they didn't really get to use it. So yeah, Edward Gaming will definitely be looking for blood, and they are the guys coming in as a super team. They sacrificed everything to build up this kind of a lineup, and they will want to grab the first place in this summer split.
All right, well, when you look at the way, and I might be getting a little bit of echo here, so let's see if I can deal with that in a second. But yeah, when you look at tonight's teams, we can highlight them in just a second. But it's going to be LGD that I feel like has probably the most to prove, because it's, at least for me, I feel like they changed up their lineup a lot, especially with their new top laner 17, and I really think that they have a lot of potential there, but I'm just not sure that they're going to be able to show it. They have probably the hardest matchup tonight as they face off against IG, who have been a little bit inconsistent over the course of the last split in this one, but definitely the most even matchup. As second matchup of the night, of course, is EDG versus World Elite Academy, and like you said, World Elite Academy still looking for a win, whereas EDG is poised to tie themselves for that first spot. And I think a lot of people were talking about EU LCS and NA LCS as now tournaments where anybody can beat anybody else, very even in skill level. But now with almost 4 teams tied for the first place spot, looks like LPL is pretty even in their skill level too, with a lot of top contenders for that first place spot.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of new teams that want to prove themselves. World Elite Academy, they were so hyped up when they entered LPL. Everyone was like, they're even better than World Elite. World Elite is at the first place, so if they are really even better, and they just need to get accustomed to the LPL level of play, then there's yet another team to join the first place lineup. So there's definitely a lot of things to look forward to. And well, Invictus Gaming with just 4 points, maybe a little bit surprising. Of course, if they win, they will jump onto the second place, but not the first. So they will be looking throughout the whole season to just grab some more additional points. But yeah, they changed their top laner right now. PDD left, not really sure if he retired or if he's doing something else. But he's not really showing up at the scene at the moment. So there's Youngsu, and he forces a little bit of a change in the tactics of Invictus Gaming. They have to play around his Gragas in the top lane because he's not really doing too well at different champions, actually. Well, maybe he is, but he's just showing this Gragas play. So they have to ban the aggressive kind of junglers. And, well, and the aggressive bans at the top lane coming out from IG constantly. So also Zetai has to build up around this team comp. So with the Gragas, of course, Yasuo works fine. But if there is a Yasuo ban from the other side, though, well, Invictus Gaming will be kind of struggling. So they need to be looking for new picks in the top lane. We'll see what Youngsu will have to show today.
That's true. Losing PDD it's a big hit. Even though he wasn't, as dominant as he has been, leaving the team and bringing in Youngsu is a big difference. And so, especially Youngsu, I feel like Youngsu versus 17 is kind of the battle of the new top laners, and it'll be really exciting to watch. Gragas maybe ban worthy, but if he's not banned, then guaranteed maybe not first pick, but we'll be seeing him tonight. And really, we've been seeing a lot of Gragas top lane, but more importantly, and I want to talk about this maybe for this match, but most importantly for our second game featuring Edward Gaming, is we're seeing Gragas top lane, and seeing Annie mid come back, and especially like in LPL, there's just so much of that champion. I'm just like, all right, is this season 1 again? Why are we seeing so many Annies mid? And I think it basically is because it's just undeniable burst damage. You get your damage off every single fight, whereas a lot of mid laners may get zoned out towards the middle of the fight, or it's a little bit hard to deliver that payload. So we'll see if see either one of those champions. I'm excited to see both of them, just because we have been seeing a lot of Gragas top in OGN especially. So we'll be looking for that to come out here. Another big matchup that we should probably highlight is going to be the battle of the junglers. Illusion has, I feel like he's where a lot of the inconsistency in IG come from. He really still likes to play the fiddlesticks, probably not a top tier pick anymore. But more importantly, I feel like he is going to be sort of the backup for Yangsu that really helps him get going against 17, because as new top laners, these guys are, I guess, not quite as used to fitting in with the rest of their teams just yet. And I'm looking forward to see Illusion try to change that around. But after great performances yesterday by Q, the LGD AD carry, now he has to face up against the bottom lane of Kid and Kitties, who is, I can't think of a much more scary bottom lane to go up against. That's going to be a really big advantage for IG, but we'll have to see if LGD can find their advantages elsewhere. As yesterday, they actually came out with some really cool rotational play to go for either like 4-man mid ganks or try to just get their patented aggression out early on.
Yeah, and look at the battle of the supports. It's Kitties versus PYL. Both of these supports will want to grab Thresh as quickly as possible. So, well, the logical kind of way of things going here would be a Thresh ban. And we have seen a lot of Thresh bans actually in the LPL throughout like 2 years already. So I'm expecting that to come out. Also, Illusion is really focusing on the early pressure. So in the previous split, he was like completely different than any of the other junglers. Everyone was picking like Lee Sin or Jarvan or something like that. Illusion is going for Evelynn for Nocturne. So he's just going for the early damage, early pressure, and kind of looking for this lack of warding coverage in the Chinese LPL, with Evelynn punishing it, and also with the Nocturne just jumping from behind the wards.
All right, well, it does look like the players are about ready to get into the game, and I'm really excited for this because IG, I haven't actually had a chance to cast them yet here for LPL. It's going to be a great, and like you said, top laners, I'm interested in seeing Yangsu play. I'm expecting the Gragas ban. You can also expect to see maybe some extra jungle bans because we talked about maybe some limited champion. It's not necessarily that the junglers have limited champion pools. It's that there just aren't that many jungle choices that are top tier anymore. I mean, you've got Lee Sin, maybe an Evelynn, but then also kind of the resurgence of a few. I saw Gragas jungle a couple of weeks ago, and so I don't know. It's kind of mixing things up. Like you said, the Nocturne, the carry junglers out there still, and Rengar that Insect's really been popularizing. Definitely going to be high there in the picks. Not to mention the mid laners, Zatai and Wayless. Yasuo will be very highly contested, if not for mid lane, then for Yangsu in the top lane, because that's probably his second prioritized champion after Gragas. So some interesting pick and ban phase. Hopefully we'll get into that in just a minute. In the meantime, going to introduce you guys to the LPL. So enjoy the intro, and we'll be back with the start of game number 1. welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 1 here on our first best of 2 series of the night. It's going to be Invictus Gaming taking on LGD in a series that is actually kind of a rivalry between both teams. They did face off a little bit earlier this year. I think IG actually got 2-0'd. Yeah, LGD took him out, forget exactly which tournament this was. I think it was the last time they faced here in LPL. But I'm thinking this may actually go the other way this time. IG have actually been looking pretty decent, and while LGD do have a few trademark strategies of their own, it will be up to the pick and ban phase to really decide who gets their big, strong power picks. We talked about the Gragas. It has been banned out against Yangsu, so maybe a little bit of a point of weakness. We'll see if he gets the Yasuo that has been his second favorite champion. I am Rapid. I'm here with Nero. We'll be guiding you through today's games.
Yeah, so LGD will be looking for the aggression because they're kind of an aggressive type of a team. But on the other side, you have Illusion, such an experienced and aggressive jungler on top of that. So we'll see who manages to catch someone on a mistake earlier on. Is it going to be IG or LGD? Because I'm quite sure that the clash of the powers will come quite quickly.
Exactly. So picks and ban phase coming through very, very quickly. You can see double bans versus Wayless, and with 2, I guess the Lee Sin could be a top lane pick as well. But I'm actually going to predict the okay, well, there's the Kayle pick. Wow. All right, so we were talking about top laners and who are they going to go with. Haven't seen Youngsu on Kayle just yet, or at least I haven't. And so as a top laner, could be a mid lane as well for Zatai, although we have seen probably a little bit more Kayle up there. But leaving Kassadin open is a big statement to make, and even though he's been changed around significantly, he is still a very strong mid lane pick. So interesting to see whether or not that Kayle will now go into the mid lane, or if they're going to look for some extra early pressure. Talked about the jungle picks as well, and there's Jarvan getting locked in. Actually missed him when I was highlighting junglers earlier on, but now in retaliation, what does LGD pick in return?
Well, look at this Kha'Zix. It seems like it will be the Kha'Zix in the middle lane, actually. With his Jarvan going into the jungle, I'm quite sure that he will stay there. We have seen like one Jarvan in the middle lane in EU LCS a year ago, but I don't think that it is coming back. And Youngsu, well, his Kayle, it actually got banned when he was playing against any other top laner so that he won't get owned by it. In the top well, he was playing Gragas. So now he actually looks like he learned to play this Kayle himself. So it will be quite good, but well, as he will be getting this Yasuo for himself after Zatai locked in. This Kha'Zix, picking up Kha'Zix over Yasuo, they definitely need to have some kind of a plan, especially that they have had a Jarvan with a knock-up.
Exactly. I would have expected the Yasuo to go into the mid lane because the Jarvan knockup, it's area of effect, plus you also have a Kayle, which means that you can't afford to build, like, you can afford to have a super glass cannon carry on your team and then just Kayle them when they go in with a lot of knockup and CC there as well. But when you look at IG's team comp, it almost looks like a Yasuo comp because they also are going to grab Nami for kitties down in the bottom lane with Kids trademark Twitch. So some big comfort picks out there for IG with Illusion on Jarvan, and then Kid and Kitties. They played that duo lane so many times. It's getting to be kind of the IG classic down there. The Kha'Zix in the mid lane, though, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that champion. I know High played it mid in NALCS, but outside of that, I haven't really seen too much popularity of Kha'Zix, especially with the more recent nerfs. Now, towers count as something that keeps champions from getting isolated, and he has a little bit of a change-up to the way his skills work. So keep an eye there, and it's actually going to be LGD that grab the Yasuo, and their last pick, looking for something that has knock-up other than just the Thresh, and it will be the Elise locked in.
Yeah, so no knockup coming up right there, but still, well, it seems like LGD got all the comfort champions that they would want. Lucian for AD carry. Thresh, surprisingly, there was no Thresh ban at all. So, well, that's weird to me. Of course, PYL is really, really dangerous Thresh. And, well, IG, they chose to go for the Kayle for the first pick. Of course, that is understandable. The other thing is Kassadin in the top lane. That is actually going to be a Yasuo in the top lane and Kassadin in the middle lane. So, well as we are talking about how he would want to grab a Yasuo, but he'll take Kassadin instead. And 17 will be playing the Yasuo for himself. And, well, a thing to point out, as you said, the classical bottom lane for IG right now, Twitch was played in all except one game in the split by Kid. Like, he always played Twitch with just one exception once he played Ezreal. So even more Twitch stats coming into his pocket, and we are getting into the loading screen. We'll see what waits for us in the game. Yeah, so huge mind games also with the picks and bans. I never expected J4 to go anywhere else than in the jungle. So, well, of course, Kha'Zix is a jungling champion, but with this Jarvan locked in, I didn't expect it to go into the jungle. And now we actually see Yongsu bringing some cheese into the play with this Jarvan in the top lane. Well, this will be really interesting to see. And yeah, 2 teleports coming out from Invictus Gaming, 1 in the top lane, 1 in the middle lane. So we may expect to see even more of the early pressure with Illusion. Maybe some kind of... Yeah, one big factor that maybe forced them to take in that teleport for the middle lane could be the Kassadin. So he's going to be roaming around the whole map, definitely. He's going to be trying to get some kills. So Zidai will pick up this teleport to just try and counter that by himself by going to the bottom lane, most probably. We'll see the early invade coming in from Invictus Gaming. And yeah, talking about this Elise falling behind, but I have to kind of question their decision that they went for the Yasuo, who had a really close wall to flash over, so he could have stayed alive. They could have just gone for Chuan. He was definitely farther away from safety. In my opinion, they could have grabbed the kill on him right there. But yeah, still, they get the 3 buffs. That's the thing that's most important, and Elise will not have a red buff, so maybe less early pressure, maybe less ganks. Okay, so kind of a fortunate flash there from Zitai. He jumped into the brush where he spotted the pink ward, so that helped them out in clearing this. A little bit early, but still a burnt flash there from Zitai. He'll have to watch out a little bit more. He just has a teleport right now, so no additional damage, no defensive stats right there coming in from the summoner spells. You'll definitely have to look out a little bit more. But they don't even finish him off.
Blue team double kill. Red team double kill. Blue team triple kill.
And what a big mistake coming out from Chuan. He didn't finish off Youngsu. Didn't land this auto attack because he was afraid of going down. And in the end, he did go down anyway. So what a misplay right there by him. He left it, and well, the Ardent Blaze was not enough from this Lucian to finish off the kill on Youngsu then. And it was a perfect play by Invictus Gaming. I even expected kind of a double teleport, but then I realized that, well, Jarvan has this teleport actually. And now they will be going for the 3-man push in the top lane, and actually they are going for the dive, and they will not fail it. Kid will run away from there easily. A nice kill for Invictus Gaming. Early dominance is showing straight away. Well, Yonks are just passing through the middle lane. Nothing's going on. Yeah, but once again, we have seen the same thing yesterday with the 17 being level 3, which is so far behind that he couldn't really do much. And once again, they are going for this gank, and once again, he's level 3. Yesterday it was Jax, now it's Yasuo, but, well, he can't really do anything in this gank. And Rolchwan, just a little bit of wasted time, wasted experience, and did they really force out something? Yeah, it was a field. Yeah, so PYL is really up to the Thrashing God, but we haven't seen a good hook from him as of yet. Well, this one with Well is being in the area, but he missed it. He hit a minion with a hook. It's kind of unfortunate, but I'm quite sure that we will see a little bit of a better play from him. The first turret will go down in the bottom lane. LGD getting a little bit of gold, but they're still behind.
All right, now that everybody can hear me, apparently there's a few issues there with connectivity. But Kid, the top lane, okay, as an AD carry, I wish I could play AD carry games like IG is giving to Kid. Kid's had like one gank that he had to deal with in 9 minutes of just free farming that top lane. Of course, the same kind of CS there for Lucian has had pretty much the same situation, but no pressure on either AD carry. We were talking about how the bottom lanes, the duos were very strong for both teams. Well, it doesn't get much stronger than free farm for the first 10 minutes of the game, so expect huge contributions out of these AD carries once we get to those big mid lane, or the big mid game dragon fights. And speaking of those, looks like we might have one coming up as big IG pressure here around the mid lane. 3 men strong, and Illusion's going to be able to take out this pink ward. Death Sentence there from PYL has got Q coming in from behind, and Illusion is in a very bad spot, gets the intervention, and jumps out alive.
Kind of misses the Mad Life Cocoon. It was quite close, but it was a little bit too early, because Illusion did jump there indeed with his Kha'Zix Sleep, but well, he threw it out a little bit too early, but they may have a dragon with that.
Yeah, and that's putting that much pressure onto Illusion just means that you don't really have to worry about it. Oh, jumping into the pit. Illusion, where are you going to go, buddy? It's not going to be too great. Teleport into the pit. We've got Kid down in the bottom. He's being beset by 2 assassins. He just takes him on. PYL is going to go down to the Twitch Poison right now. And there's going to be a kill onto Kassadin as well. Kitties versus Q is not going to be a battle. Kitties wants to fight, but he will be able to kite that one back out. Meanwhile, in the mid lanes, the Tide's looking to go down. It will be Chuan finally.
This time around, Chuan finished off his enemy with the dive, so that's good for him. And yep, Kitties hit level 6 right there in the battle with XQ, so he could have run away easily. That's good for him. And yeah, they're throwing out a bubble, and at an exhaust over the wall didn't help them at all. And yeah, Illusion just went down for free, so a little bit of a misplay right there by IG, a little bit of burnt summoner spells for no use. Still, they do have the advantage in the kills, but not in the gold anymore.
Yeah, definitely a lot more even now. LGD coming back with a big pick there. And honestly, that was all on Illusion. He got, oh, Kid's going to go in here, gets the nice bubble from Kitties, and the lantern back out. PYL saving XQ's life right there. That was pretty close, but you can see Kid, he's up to his old shenanigans again. And honestly, this is looking like Use the Eye. He's getting those big stealth Twitch assassination attempts. Didn't work out, but you can see the thought is there. While we were talking about how LGD are coming back, they got the gold advantage now, and they're starting to make these big global plays. They still have to worry about Zatai. Like, this guy is a monster, 3, 2, and 1, and he's almost got his Berserker Greaves coming up after his completed Nashor's Tooth. Of course, a big power spike for Kassadin as well. Wayless will have that as well. Oh, and now XQ's going to be forced to disengage again. Kid going in over and over.
Yeah, really. And even with Chuan right there. And also, I think to point out, Chuan is 4-1-0. He's also kind of a monster right there. Of course, they had a failed dive, but he did get a double kill from that. So it's still quite good for him. And this Elise is going to, after getting shut down a little bit early with the red buff steal, he's gonna get a little bit more pressure right now with what he gained from the kills.
Yeah, Chuan very strong in the jungle, but you can see I'd rather have my strength in lanes. Zatai is going to be able to kind of bully Wayless, but to be honest, the thing that's surprising most to me is that Kassadin actually has a CS lead, or is actually tied now in CS versus Zatai. And honestly, he's just stayed in lane and solo farmed for a little bit, but you don't really see Kassadin with high CS scores this early on, so Wayless actually doing a very, very good job in that matchup, and we all know how scary Kassadin can be later on. Illusion's being forced off, stealing the red buff from Chuan, who's there right in time, and Wayless is going to come up there as well. I think they're actually going to... Okay, no giving the red buff away. Just wanted some extra burst there. Top lane, oh my gosh.
Nuked. And yeah, I think to point out
this
Kassadin never roamed around, I actually noticed. He never was anywhere else. He was just in the mid lane and then on the dragon, but never visited another lane. So the pressure from this Kassadin is gone. Chuan got a little bit shut down early, so well, LGD actually being such an aggressive team.
Oh, Chuan's gonna get knocked up there. Youngsu and Illusion just waited in there. Youngsu's going back in, and now Chuan actually will stay alive. They sense the Kassadin roam, and this is gonna be one dead Jarvan. And all that time spent not roaming, Wayless is making up for it. Goes in there, grabs himself his first kill, and is able to put that pressure back onto Youngsu.
The flash Q, first of all, the Q missed, and second of all, I don't think that it would have taken Chuan down, so it was a mistake double times.
And now it does look like, as far as I guess early pressure, is concerned, IG have been putting on more like globally across the map, but it's actually been LGD who have been making the more coordinated team play, taking out those dragons, but all the double teleports are going to come in here very, very big. It's going to be Yongsu going to look for the knockup, misses the flag and drag, illusions coming in, there's a huge tidal wave that misses as well. Yongsu is going to get invincibility there from the intervention, but he's very, very low. Big power play from IG, but it doesn't pay off with any kills.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate because Katie's is like underlined and known as one of the few Namis in the China that are actually on point with the ultimates. So it was a perfect ultimate from him, but well, 2 flashes burned. These were just the flashes, not the kills, not what they wanted. And look at that, LGD will be going for the turret in the middle lane, and they will have a full set of outer turrets with that.
Oh, and Cocoon landing onto Kitty's turret's very low there, but not going to go over aggressive there. Kids coming in from behind. Big power push here from IG. Don't find any catches just yet. And that's another problem we were talking about. Without Yongsu there to be their big engage, and outside of Kitty's landing a bubble, there really isn't a whole lot of way for IG to force these big fights. So I don't know, it's going to be rough when it comes to the mid lane or the mid game, and they can't put pressure on this Kassadin. He's been relatively unpressured all game long, and it's going to start to scale up there very, very strongly. Of course, we're talking about top laners, and after we've focused on saying how far 17 was behind, you kind of got to take a look onto Yongsu. It's 15 minutes into the game, and this guy has 57 CS, so he's been making plays with the rest of his team, has been involved in 5 out of 7 of their kills, but he hasn't been farming. That is going to make him fall off here pretty strongly. Whereas Yasuo is very item efficient. All you need is a static shiv to get a big power spike.
Okay, so talking about the lack of an engage, of course, there's not much CC, but you have to keep in mind that there's intervention available. So Illusion jumping in with this huge Kha'Zix, or Kid, we have seen some aggressive plays from him also, so he can just be stealthed up with the intervention, jumping in on the enemy's backlines. That might be a good idea, but well, that's yet to come. The dragon is there, and LGD will once again be looking to take it for themselves. Since they have the gold advantage, they need to make it bigger and bigger.
LGD grouping up around the dragon. Keep in mind they took dragon number 1 off of a pick onto Illusion, so you better know he's going to be a little bit more careful about it this time around, staying very far back with the rest of his team. The LGD are burning this dragon down. It's down very, very low, and here we go. We've got Illusion going in there. He's going to miss the dragon smite, but this is all about the Jarvan. Yongsu getting a huge 3-man dunk down in the back line, but is that enough? Kid in the back line dishing out so much damage, and this is Kid's fight. He and Zatai are just going to crush the carry lineup. XQ will go down in the back, and IG...
Quadra is there. He can't even go for a penta.
Oh, Kid, he's going to stealth through the turret, actually. Kassadin is actually going to get the assassination onto Kitties. So no protection there for the support. Winds up being a 3 for 4, but the quadra kill onto Kid. This game is just going so well for IG. They may have lost a few fights, but Zatai got a triple kill early on. Kid just picked up his quadra, and this carry lineup is going to get so scary for IG.
Yeah, especially that it's a Kale and a Twitch, and even if that's not scary enough, you can combine them and it's a Twitch and a Kale. It's just completely going to destroy LGD's lineup. But, well, yeah, talking about the record between these teams, when IG first faced off LGD, they lost 0-2, but the next time they won 2-0, so this match can go either way, and it won't be surprising, to be honest.
And honestly, this is going to be kind of the featured matchup of tonight. IG, they've been played with some inconsistency, but LGD have been changing things up. They've gone for a lot of innovative strategies, and even their current champion composition is really, really interesting to me, because it relies off of the double catch potential off of, oh my gosh, Kid going in there and almost taking out Wayless. That is going to be his, didn't actually have to use his ultimate there, but puts on enough pressure to at least force Kassadin back out of lane. So he's going to be off the map, no threat from that. But like I was talking about, the double catch potential between having Elise and PYL's Thresh, that's going to be the big deal here for LGD, because they get a catch and immediately just blow somebody up with Kassadin and Yasuo. I feel like IG have a lot to counter that out there with intervention, with the counter engage from Jarvan, so we'll see if LGD's pick comp winds up turning around on them. by having IG counter-initiate. But so far, actually going very well for LGD strategically, but at least in the fights, the execution hasn't really been there. IG picking up several multi-kills.
Yeah, you can see how Kid wanted this Penta. He's even trying to go for a dive for Willis because he didn't give it away to him in the previous fights.
Well, I mean, at some point you kind of have to go for that. And once again, I feel like Twitch gives Chinese AD carries a certain mentality where they have to go for these like 1v3 assassination attempts or turret dive for pentakills or things like that. Kid's gonna stealth in and scout things out. He sees the dual lane down there. He's gonna walk into 2, and actually the intervention used out there, XQ is not gonna stay alive very long there, and it is gonna be the Twitch poison. Kid's gonna die here because he's tanking up the turret. But going for the dive, there's still a kill being found, and an overdive there. LGD here to capitalize on it. Zetai does not have an ultimate, and it's just going to be Wayless crushing down this fight.
Yonks is so late for the fights.
He was not there in time. It's 4 for 1. The pick onto XQ was good, but Kid overdove. It's the same thing we saw from him earlier on, trying to pick up that pentakill, tanked up the turret, and once Kid was down, that's 7 kills off the map for IG, and perfect rotation from Wayless. He was in the right there where he needed to be. Now it's actually LGD that off of one team fight can take down this Baron.
Yeah, just look at the pings. It's China. They are straight going for the Baron buff, and they will most probably get it. But look at that. Illusion has already spawned. He's not even going to try to contest. They don't know about it. They thought that LGD is just putting up the warding coverage, and LGD will be taking this Baron without any kind of problems. But Nami Bubble is there.
Okay, well, Illusion did wind up going for it. He didn't get it, of course, which is highly unfortunate. Now, Kitty's is going to die, and this is just going to be terrible for IG. They do have Kid here. Kid has enough damage to turn this around. Jarvan's Cataclysm is going to be huge, and Kid could actually win this fight for IG. He's going to turn it around for 4 kills. Holy hell, IG! Okay, Zedai guesses wrong, but he's going to get the CS in the top lane. And once again, I can't even talk about these turnarounds. First, LG.
Look at that. Once again, the same scenario right here. But Kitty stays alive, and Kid is going to get a kill on Wayless. Finally, will he avenge his lost Penta? Yes, he most probably will.
The minion damage! The cannon minion's gonna kill Wayless! Wayless walked into a minion wave and took the Twitch poison plus the minion auto attack damage and wound up dying. IG.
Yeah, so to recap the fight, well, LGD went for the Baron, and I thought that this would be a big fail coming in from Illusion because he just died in vain, and then Zetai with a triple and Kid with a double. It's incredible. I thought that it would be a free Baron and a free kill, and then they would go for the turret pushes. Nope, this scale is just too huge at the moment, and there's no Rune and Hurricane as of yet.
Yeah, that was actually pretty much a 3v5 from IG, as Kitties didn't really accomplish a whole lot except for the very end where she landed a couple of nice bubbles, but it was really just Illusion going and dying, and then Zetai, Yongsu, and Kid manning up and taking control of this game. Yongsu went in suicided there with a nice Cataclysm, and that just locked everybody down for Kid's ultimate. He sprayed and prayed and rat-a-tat-tatted, and Zetai was there to give him invulnerability. It's just perfect setup for IG, and that was sort of a miracle for them. They gave away the Baron buff. They lost that bottom lane fight so hard after over diving, getting too greedy. Oh, Zetai, he's gotta watch out down there. PYL and Q. Oh, Zetai actually steps out of the brush. He's gonna walk in there, knows that what he's walking into. He's got that intervention down, and they just can't kill off Zetai. He will flash out of there. Chuan's gonna be able to take him down there. Repels in, gets the heal. Zetai stays alive for just too long. Winds up going down, but now Chuan's gonna go down there. It's a 1-for-2 exchange in favor of IG.
Yeah, so if you look at Zetai's stats, it's all just triple kills. He just went in there and took 2 triple kills, and that's all. So this kill is definitely strong, and well, Twitch 9-2, it's incredible. This Kid is going to be really huge, and now he's even 10-2 because I didn't see the fight. I lagged out by a little bit. No problem, they take the dragon, and well, IG once again coming out on top. And it's such a big game right now. IG was winning in the early game, then losing in the mid game, and now it's actually 23 minutes is not even the late game, but once again, they are going for the dominance, and this game just turns around over and over again.
Yeah, games get to late game pretty quickly when you have a 10, 2, and 3 Twitch. Although, honestly, with the way the kid's been playing very, very greedily, you kind of got to wonder if he's going to get sniped down and then all of a sudden 10 kills just off the board for IG. Now, they do have Kale to allow him to kind of be a little bit crazy, give him the invulnerability, but IG got a second, sort of a second chance at life here after they won that Baron fight, and now LGD kind of on the back foot. Still a lot of things to worry about, but oh, look at Kid. He's gonna go in here versus 17. Gets the ward there in that bush, but Kid actually has to be very, very careful. And oh my gosh, in a 1v2, 17 finds the kill, trades 1 for 1.
Well, here you can see the power of 17. He's like a newbie right here. He had no professional experience at all. The first time he played in the professional scene was a week ago, I think, or just this Friday. So, well, 17 coming in, and this wind wall completely outplayed Kid. No problem. Blocked like 3 auto attacks that gave 17 time to finish off the Twitch, and he gets the shutdown. That's quite big. So, well, looking at IG's lineup, they have the Fed carries, but on the other side there is the Fed jungler and 3 kills on all the other members, so it's quite good for them. They have the kill distribution a little bit better than IG.
Oh, nice culling coming out of Q. He chunks down Youngsu and Kitties. Kid's gonna be there for some wave clear, but defense here on the mid turret. Nobody looking to start a fight just yet, but big defense from IG, keeping their middle lane turret alive. 17's off by himself because he has teleport. Nice miss there on the, or nice dodge from Kitties. Miss there on the cocoon. A lot of pressure in the mid lane.
Well, IG have the gold advantage, but that's just because of the advantage in the turrets, but here we have the fight.
Yeah, big tidal wave to start things off, but just look at that intervention onto Youngsu, keeps him alive after that, and Kid's just gonna go nuts here in the back line. Can't run away fast enough. The death sentence, actually a death sentence for PYL. He's gonna go down. Illusion gets the re-engage, but Chuan's able to repel over the wall. Gets away safely and lands the cocoon. Wayless able to jump right back out of there, but just these fights set up so well. IG are just so good at this particular team comp. They set it up. Kid's perfectly safe there in the back line, and 17 was not there in time.
Yeah, and Kid just flashing in to try and get more kills for his team. It's incredible. But yeah, I wanted to say that the turrets are just the difference in gold. So if LGD come back with the turrets, they come back with the gold. But actually, IG just winning a fight right here, getting an inhibitor on top of that. This is going to be huge right now. And the Baron will be coming up in 55 seconds. 2 minion waves coming in with the super minions to the middle lane of LGD. They will have to deal with it, and IG will have a perfect opportunity to get this Baron. Plus, they have the timer because Illusion died there in the previous time the enemy team finished it off.
IG is just showing why they are so dominant, but also why they're so inconsistent. Kid's 3 deaths have come at probably the worst times you could ask to lose your AD carry. So he will have to be very, very careful, because I feel like especially here in Season 4, all it takes is one bad team fight and you just lose the game. And for IG, as this game gets later and later, it's very high risk, high reward. They have a kind of a glass cannon composition. They have no real true tank other than Youngsu with his, just a Randuin's Omen. So they're relying on the intervention. They're relying on their initiation advantage, because if they get caught out here, if anyone from IG gets picked, which is highly likely because of the Thresh and Elise, then LGD can snowball off that so strongly.
The Baron is there already, and IG is just fighting for the vision. 5k gold difference at the moment, and this Twitch is definitely so huge. Well, the intervention got used on Jarvan, I think, in the previous fight, but if it really gets to getting used on Twitch, it is going to be horrible for LGD. They can't bring him down because he's on the backlines constantly right now, and even when he gets the intervention, he's just going to be immortal and he's going to crush everyone.
And for all the criticism that a lot of Twitch players get in LPL for being sort of super crazy, going in 1v5 and trying to make these big plays, when it counts, Kid is actually very good at playing in these team comps that IG sets up. He stays in the back, waits for Youngsu to engage, and then is very quick to call Zitai to either ult him as the AD carry or keep Youngsu alive with that intervention like they did in that last fight. So IG are actually playing this team comp off very, very well as 5, but maybe not necessarily quite so good in the 1v1s.
Okay, IG is looking for a trap in the top lane. I don't think that they will be able to pull it off, but they are looking for some turrets. Right now the Baron is up, but they are not too confident in going with a 5v5 on a Baron, because you can see what happened to LGD when they did. So they will be looking to pick up another turret to just bring down some more super minions, maybe, and then go for a pick and then for a Baron.
When you have a big tank line, you can stand getting engaged on and then turn that around. But for IG, they don't have a big tank line. They have a lot of offense, a lot of aggression, so they want to be the ones starting this fight. So if IG starts Baron, then they're not going to have that initiation advantage that they really want to have in these fights, which means that they're probably not going to go for the Baron buff, which is kind of scary to say as a team in LPL, because Baron is sort of the first and last thing most teams see in a lot of games.
Yeah, definitely. And there's also Youngsu versus 17 in the bottom lane. I think that 17 will be doing a little bit better, especially after what we have seen, the outplay on Kid, but here's the catch.
Oh man, a perfect bubble being landed there. Kitty's gonna land that cocoon onto Illusion.
Oh, and he misses the void spikes.
I'm not sure how you missed those void spikes. That takes a little bit of skill to work through. But most importantly, the pick being made there on a PYL means that it's 4v5 right now, and oh, we've got another one. Chuan will actually flash the tidal wave, gets the repel. Not sure where he's going to, but a huge ultimate from 17. He's gonna go in there, but dunks down from Youngsu. Beautiful cataclysm. Catches 4 members of LGD, and now it's just gonna be cleanup duty as inhibitor is up, but not for long. IG have a nice counter engage, lose kitties, but win the fight.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to point out that Youngsu took the blue buff when he was splitting in the bottom, so Welles would have been a little bit worse in the next fight, but he actually didn't even get the time to go for this blue buff. The fight happened before he tried to build something up for himself. And what a perfect one from Invictus Gaming, catching PYL off guard and then Chuan going down. It was actually a 2-for-1.
17 manned up that fight. He hit a huge last breath. But to be honest, it's the top laners just kind of carrying or throwing this game. Both in that last fight really excelled. Youngsu, after the last breath, came in with a monstrous cataclysm. Just caught everybody from LGD grouped up, and really no way to win the fight after that. LGD do capitalize on that fight by getting a dragon off of it, so they're going to come back a little bit in the gold count, but still very far behind in turrets. And as far as individual champion strength is right now, nobody can step up to the IG carries.
Okay, so I'm still stunned by what PYL is doing in this game. He just got caught several times, missed a lot of hooks. He's not really being himself today. I really expected a lot more from his Thresh. It didn't get banned, so it's lucky for him, but then he didn't have a good showing on that. He needs to step up his play if LGD wants to win. He's the captain of the team. He's usually the one to carry them through with the Thresh hooks.
Very careful play here around the Baron. Once again, IG don't want to be the ones to start Baron, so they're not going to sort of start it and then peel back off, because they don't want to get counter engaged on, or they don't want to get engaged on and then be forced into a counter engaged position. So probably just going to try to bait this out and get some vision control, but with no pink ward there to scout out. In fact, let me check the vision. Yeah, this pink ward does not scout the ward in the back of that Baron pit, so kind of bad positioning there onto that, really denying IG the pressure that they want to put on this Baron area.
Yeah, so LGD, they have to be careful right now. Look at which one is. If there was one member of IG, once again it would have been a catch, and once again a good fight for IG. But look at that, they are going for the top lane. They don't really care much about this Baron. They just put up wards right there, and I never actually saw that they wanted to start it off. They were looking for a trap, maybe.
Oh, Chuan lands a cocoon onto Kid. Very, very vulnerable. Lantern over the wall keeps him safe. But look at what the teleports are doing. Oh, is it tie in the bot? Holy hell. That's the counter lane matchup, and that's actually,
Melting him.
this is really smart, and I'm starting to realize why there's a teleport on Zatai. It's because Kayle counters Yasuo extremely well, and as a teleport user, you want to be able to split push, but giving Kayle teleport means that she can split push versus 17's Yasuo and counter him out just as hard as we just saw there. But oh, the catch onto PYL, he's gonna face check right in there. Yongsu gets a nice dunk down. There's a huge tidal wave from Kitties. As tidal waves are wont to be, and Chuan now going to be forced to repel. Can he get away? Yes. And Banshee's Veil is actually down, even though there's that graphical glitch on it that makes it seem like it's always up. Unfortunate, Zanya's there for Wayless Kitties, there to take him out, and off of a perfect Fnatic brush bait. It's IG who will come down to crush down this game. Most likely going to be able to end it here, as only Chuan and Hugh are able to try to stop them.
Yeah, so once again, PYL getting caught around the Baron area, and it's IG's game completely. So that's what I said, he needs to step something up. I don't know if he will be playing Thresh in the next game, because he's clearly underperforming today.
Yeah, his Thresh just did not step up to the plate, and after Kid and Zatai both had huge games. Actually, Kid's gonna die here to 17, or will he? No, stealths out, gets out of there alive. Keep in mind, this is patch 4.9, so it's only, oh, Youngsu's going for the X-Peke on the Nexus.
But it's so weird, they didn't go for the Nexus. When 17 jumped in, 4 of them backed away. What the hell did they do right there?
I'm not sure. IG could have ended the game right there, but to be honest, they were kind of trolling just a little bit. They went for some weird champion kills and didn't focus the Nexus like there. At the end, it's Yongsu who's forced to like be the only one auto-attacking it, and Yongsu with a little bit of an interesting buy there, picks up double Spectre's Cowls. I think he forgot that he had the previous Spectres, and finally winds up returning it and picking up his Banshee's Veil. Zatai's here, he's kind of 1v5ing right now, does get the intervention to stay alive, but with a little bit of lag, I don't think we have to wonder what's happening to him. Goes down, the Baron's still alive, will go over to LGD.
And look at that. IG didn't finish off the game, and now LGD has the Baron, so the first part of winning the game in China.
If IG lose this off of them trolling in the fountain, this is gonna be very, very sad. Kid's gonna get caught here. Zanya's hourglass there, but look at how strong Kid is. He's going to go down, but he does find one. There's the dunk down, killing off Q, but now Yongsu's in a 1v2. Has Kitties there for some moral
support. Yeah, but he's really tanky.
Oh, teleport though coming in. 17's gonna join the fight, and they're just gonna dive straight onto Yongsu. He's gonna get dove here. No way you can get out of this one alive. Wait, what?
Really?
Oh
and
my
he gets
God.
out alive.
IG get a major stroke of luck right there with Yongsu not dying.
He's already spawned. LGD will not be able to take the inhibitor.
Oh my goodness. And look at the top lane. It's a teleport in from Yongsu. Yongsu's going for it. He's going to try to backdoor the Nexus before anyone can respawn or recall there.
There's Wayless
coming in. So Wayless is here, but Youngsu's too tanky. Youngsu can just keep beating on here. And oh no, this actually could be a major
He's
throw.
gonna go down. Yep. And this is once again LGD having the numbers advantage. They may go for something big.
If Zatai had teleport up there too for like a 2-man TP, then sure, that would have worked out fine. But now it's actually a 44-second death timer from Yongsu and Illusion. Or not Illusion, IG. I don't know what they're thinking right now. They tried for the backdoor twice. Both times they questionable execution, but they're still ahead. They still have control of this game, but it is definitely not quite as dominant as it was a few minutes ago.
The amount of turnarounds and throws in this game is too damn high. Just look at the number of the kills. Just look at how many Barons LGD got with taking out the members of IG, and how many times IG actually came back from it, and once again LGD came back from it. And now there's just the Nexus standing for LGD. But, well, IG can't really find a key to end the game.
IG, I feel like the biggest thing stopping them from ending this game is themselves. A Kid wanting to go for the 1v1 onto Wayless, but he's actually really tanky. This is the armor build from Kassadin, where you pick up the Zanya's Iceborne Gauntlets, and then they'll probably either grab a Randuin's, because it's still really good on this patch, or a Death Cap, just for more damage to try to blow up Kid. But either way, Kassadin very, very tanky. Will be pretty invulnerable to Kid trying to 1v1 him
Oh,
death
Kitty
sentence
gets a
though.
hook.
Oh, IG are just gonna like Zerg this Nexus. They're gonna start the team fight. A lot of burst damage coming back, but IG actually the ones getting chunked out here. LGD trying for the engage. A big dunk down. There's the tidal wave on top of the Jarvan Cataclysm.
There's no one to follow up.
Over dives in the attempt to take down the back line. IG will actually lose this fight. Kitty's the last one alive, and that's not gonna last for long. Illusion goes down, and it's 60-second death timers for IG. 17 and Q, the last one's left alive, and with 60 seconds left before the Nexus respawns. I think LGD are gonna be able to take down at least the inhibitor, but I don't think they can finish the game.
Maybe one Nexus there, but wait, we have seen that already. A triple kill for the actually mid laner. 17 is in the top, but well, double for the AD
Can
carry.
LGD win this? They've got 17 seconds. I think LGD've got this. They've got minions to take up the Nexus
They
turrets.
have the game.
It's 10 seconds until Yongsu's back up. The damage on the Nexus
And LGD will take this game. IG, what a huge throw. They didn't finish off the Nexus back then, and they lose the game because of that.
Oh my god. IG, they didn't focus the Nexus when they had everything down. There was literally only one turret in the entire game left for LGD. Nexus was open twice. IG, and to be honest, only Yongsu was able to take the Nexus down to about 1,000 hit points, but IG couldn't hold it back, and LGD with a huge engage. 17's Yasuo scaling up there at the end. It was just ridiculous to watch. He'd been behind all game long, and he just dealt way too much damage. IG.
This game was incredible, and people are like kind of disappointed that they have to wait a year, but here you have Game of Thrones Season 5. It's already here.
This is the LPL, of course, English coverage brought to you guys by Games in Asia and Gosu Gamers. We're going to take a little bit of a break here before we get into game number 2, but if this is what game 1 of the series is like, I cannot wait for game number 2. We're going to throw it to a quick break before we get back into it. In the meantime, enjoy a quick little video. We'll be right back. I'm just not sure that they're going to be able to show it. They have probably the hardest matchup tonight as they face off against IG, who have been a little bit inconsistent over the course of the last split in this one, but definitely the most even matchup. As second matchup of the night, of course, is EDG versus World Elite Academy, and like you said, World Elite Academy still looking for a win, whereas EDG is poised to tie themselves for that first spot. And I think a lot of people were talking about EU LCS and NA LCS as now tournaments where anybody can beat anybody else, very even in skill level. But now with almost 4 teams tied for the first place spot, looks like LPL is pretty even in their skill level too, with a lot of top contenders for that first place spot.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of new teams that want to prove themselves. World Elite Academy, they were so hyped up when they entered LPL. Everyone was like, they're even better than World Elite. World Elite is at the first place, so if they are really even better, and they just need to get accustomed to the LPL level of play, then there's yet another team to join the first place lineup. So there's definitely a lot of things to look forward to. And well, Invictus Gaming with just 4 points, maybe a little bit surprising. Of course, if they win, they will jump onto the second place, but not the first. So they will be looking throughout the whole season to just grab some more additional points. But yeah, they changed their top laner right now. PDD left, not really sure if he retired or if he's doing something else. But he's not really showing up at the scene at the moment. So there's Yongsu, and he forces a little bit of a change in the tactics of Invictus Gaming. They have to play around his Gragas in the top lane because he's not really doing too well at different champions, actually. Well, maybe he is, but he's just showing this Gragas play. So they have to ban the aggressive kind of junglers. And, well, and the aggressive bans at the top lane coming out from IG constantly. So also Zetai has to build up around this team comp. So with the Gragas, of course, Yasuo works fine. But if there is a Yasuo ban from the other side, though, well, Invictus Gaming will be kind of struggling. So they need to be looking for new picks in the top lane. We'll see what Youngsu will have to show today.
That's true. Losing PDD it's a big hit. Even though he wasn't, as dominant as he has been, leaving the team and bringing in Youngsu is a big difference. And so, especially Youngsu, I feel like Youngsu versus 17 is kind of the battle of the new top laners, and it'll be really exciting to watch. Gragas maybe ban worthy, but if he's not banned, then guaranteed. Maybe not first pick, but we'll be seeing him tonight. And really, we've been seeing a lot of Gragas top lane, but more importantly, and I want to talk about this maybe for this match, but most importantly for our second game featuring Edward Gaming, is we're seeing Gragas top lane and seeing Annie mid come back, and especially like in LPL, there's just so much of that champion. I'm just like, all right, is this season 1 again? Why are we seeing so many Annies mid? And I think it basically is because it's just undeniable burst damage. You get your damage off every single fight, whereas a lot of mid laners may get zoned out towards the middle of the fight, or it's a little bit hard to deliver that payload. So we'll see if see either one of those champions. I'm excited to see both of them, just because we have been seeing a lot of Gragas top in OGN especially. So we'll be looking for that to come out here. Another big matchup that we should probably highlight is going to be the battle of the junglers. Illusion I feel like he's where a lot of the inconsistency in IG come from. He really still likes to play the fiddlesticks. Probably not a top tier pick anymore. But more importantly, I feel like he is going to be sort of the backup for Youngsu that really helps him get going against 17. Because as new top laners, these guys are, I guess, not quite as used to fitting in with the rest of their teams just yet. And I'm looking forward to see Illusion try to change that around. But after great performances yesterday by Q, the LGD AD carry, now he has to face up against the bottom lane of Kid and Kitties, who is, I can't think of a much more scary bottom lane to go up against. That's going to be a really big advantage for IG, but we'll have to see if LGD can find their advantages elsewhere. As yesterday, they actually came out with some really cool rotational play to go for either like 4-man mid ganks or try to just get their patented aggression out early on.
Yeah, and look at the battle of the supports. It's Kitties versus PYL. Both of these supports will want to grab Thresh as quickly as possible. So, well, the logical kind of way of things going here would be a Thresh ban. And we have seen a lot of Thresh bans actually in the LPL throughout like 2 years already. So I'm expecting that to come out. Also, Illusion is really focusing on the early pressure show. So in the previous split, he was like completely different than any of the other junglers. Everyone was picking like Lee Sin or Jarvan or something like that. Illusion is going for Evelynn for Nocturne. So he's just going for the early damage, early pressure, and kind of looking for this lack of warding coverage in the Chinese LPL with the Evelynn punishing it, and also with the Nocturne just jumping from behind the wards.
All right, well, it does look like the players are about ready to get into the game, and I'm really excited for this because IG, I haven't actually had a chance to cast them yet here for LPL. It's going to be a great, and like I said, top lane coverage here of the LPL summer season. I am Reed Rapid Melton, and joining me is Nero, and we'll be your casters for tonight. We want to welcome everybody and mention that this stream is made possible in part by cooperation between Gosu Gamers and Games in Asia, as well as our friends at Twitch. So I do want to thank everybody for coming and tuning in tonight, and welcome you all to the stream. We're going to throw up the standings. You can see them right here. These are the current standings after yesterday's day of play. So it's gonna be really cool, at least for me, to see everybody. Previously we had like a 3-way tie for third, but now there's a 3-way tie for first, as World Elite, OMG, and Starhorn are all up there at 8 points. And tonight EDG have a chance to join them in those top standings with a 2-0 win of their own.
Yeah, and if you are just looking at the standings, then you can easily judge that it could be a very good possibility for Edward Gaming to jump in there, since the match for today will be Edward Gaming versus World Elite Academy, and they are yet to pick up their first points yesterday. They had a good chance, but they didn't really get to use it. So yeah, Edward Gaming will definitely be looking for blood, and they are the guys coming in as a super team. They sacrificed everything to build up this kind of a lineup, and they will want to grab the first place in this summer split.
All right, well, when you look at the way, and I might be getting a little bit of echo here, so I'll see if I can deal with that in a second. But yeah, when you look at tonight's teams, we can highlight them in just a second. But it's going to be LGD that I feel like has probably the most to prove, because it's, at least for me, I feel like they changed up their lineup a lot, especially with their new top laner 17, and I really think that they have a lot of potential there. But I'm interested in seeing Yangsu play. I'm expecting the Gragas ban. You can also expect to see maybe some extra jungle bans, because we talked about maybe some limited champion. It's not necessarily that the junglers have limited champion pools. It's that there just aren't that many jungle choices that are top tier anymore. I mean, you've got Lee Sin, maybe an Evelynn, but then also kind of the resurgence of a few. I saw Gragas jungle a couple of weeks ago, and so I don't know. It's kind of mixing things up. Like you said, the Nocturne, the carry junglers out there still, and Rengar that Insect's really been popularizing. Definitely going to be high there in the picks. Not to mention the mid laners, Zatai and Wayless. Yasuo will be very highly contested, if not for mid lane, then for Yangsu in the top lane, because that's probably his second prioritized champion after Gragas. So some interesting pick and ban phase. Hopefully we'll get into that in just a minute. In the meantime, going to introduce you guys to the LPL. So enjoy the intro, and we'll be back with the start of game number 1.